So today we have some pretty juicy iPhone 13 leaks. We have mock-ups that showcase the smaller notch. We also have some information that might suggest the new iPhones have been finalized, and basically our worst nightmare is actually happening because Apple seemingly has gone ahead with the portless design. And on top of that, we have information about the iPhone 13 cameras and how the iPhone 13 Pro Max will once again have some exclusive features over the rest of the lineup. So there is a lot to delve into, and so without further ado, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so let's begin with the dummy units we have of the iPhone 13, courtesy of Takara, who, by the way, has been doing this on a yearly basis. In fact, for reference, here are the images of the iPhone 12 they gave us last year, and by the way, this was given to us very early into 2020, and so you can see how accurate they actually ended up being, and apart from the corners being slightly more rounded than of course the final product, it's pretty much identical to what we got at the end. And so judging by that and the fact they got the sizes right too in 2020, I am inclined to believe that these leaks are pretty legit. And what's surprising to me is that yes, these dummy units actually showcase a smaller notch. So much like we saw with that leak a few weeks ago from Mac Rumors via iRepair, we can see that Apple's basically moving the earpiece to the top of the phone, which should help the notch go from around 35mm today to around 27. What's kind of interesting though is that according to Takara's calculations, the notch will be getting slightly taller at 5.35mm compared to 5.3mm on the iPhone 12 Pro. However, apart from that, there really is no other change to note. This really is the iPhone 12 with a smaller notch. Now yes, we have got a lot of substantial leaks about the smaller notch recently, and this just adds more credibility to, of course, that prediction. But personally, a part of me is still quite skeptical, purely because we hear this all the time. We've been hearing about a smaller notch since the iPhone XS days, and so yes, it's hard for me to believe we will finally see a smaller notch this year. Of course, I will be very glad if this happens, but a part of me will still remain skeptical, especially since this should be an S year, and traditionally, S years haven't really had any major redesigns over their predecessors. Also, I can't lie, as much as I do want a smaller notch, I don't think I like this layout where Apple puts the earpiece right at the top, because it feels a little cluttered to me, and I much prefer today's layout. And so maybe I'll get used to it, but right now, I would actually prefer having a thinner notch instead. Anyways, let's now move on from those mock-ups and delve into some leaks from Mr. Kang, the most reliable Apple leaker there is, and earlier in the week he did say the iPhone 13s have apparently been finalized. So yes, that pretty much means everything is set in stone, and we should hopefully get more accurate iPhone leaks from now on. And of course, judging by the fact we got this Takara leak a few days after this original Kang leak, I am pretty sure that, like I said, this design that Takara shows us could be somewhat final, and what we're seeing here is pretty much the iPhone 13. Now, in addition to the iPhone 13 apparently being finalized, we also got a rumor about the iPhone coming without a port in 2021. So obviously when Apple reinvented wireless charging and gave us MagSafe, I was pretty sure that we would see the portless iPhone sooner than later, and well, my worst fears apparently could be true, because it seems Apple has decided to go portless this year for some reason, which kind of feels like they're rushing into things in my opinion, especially since MagSafe has some glaring issues. For example, the heat, the slowness, the fact it can't transfer data. There are so many issues with MagSafe, and so I don't think we're ready for a portless iPhone anytime soon. But apparently, it seems Apple's gonna force this portless design on us, and what's worrying is that he doesn't say which iPhone this will be. He just says this year's iPhone, and so could that mean the whole lineup is going portless? Because that would be an absolutely terrible idea, and so hopefully we only see the portless design on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, much like some rumors have suggested in the past, and hopefully the rest of the iPhone 13 lineup will have a port for the time being. Talking about the iPhone 13 Pro Max, Min Chi Kuo gave us some details on the camera upgrades we can expect on the Pro Max, and much like the iPhone 12 Pro Max this year, the 13 Pro Max will indeed have exclusive features over its siblings, namely an f1.5 lens on top of the main sensor, and this wider aperture should mean that of course more light can come into the sensor, which should drastically improve the night mode performance of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. But unfortunately, much like this year with the iPhone 12 series, the rest of the iPhone 13 series should have worse cameras, and apparently they should be staying pretty much near identical to what we have today. So yeah, if you want the true camera upgrades, you have to go for the Pro Max. Now guys, I am not a huge fan of this at all, because the iPhone 13 Pro is going to be an expensive phone. It's going to start at $1,000, and it has the Pro moniker, and so I think it has to have the best cameras possible. And also, there are plenty of people who like having the best camera possible, but they don't like the humongous size of the Pro Max, because of course it is quite a handful. I have experienced this myself. I did use an iPhone 12 Pro Max for a little while, and I just did not like it. I much prefer having the 6.1 inch form factor, and so it kind of feels scummy that Apple's forcing us to spend more money and go for the bigger size by making the camera upgrades exclusive again. Now yes, I know the Pro Max is a much larger phone, and so that means that Apple can of course utilize the bigger space they have and give us bigger cameras, but I do still feel the Pro and Pro Max should be equal in terms of specs, much like we saw with the iPhone XS and 11 series. But tell me in the comments below, what do you think about Apple giving the Pro Max exclusive features? Do you think it's right? Do you think it's wrong? Tell me your reasoning below. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the video in the icon above about both sizes of the iMac possibly coming out at the April event. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps.